Good morning, everybody. Today we are heading outside to block my Sundae Funday Shawl. So what I've done is, first I've soaked it and gently squeezed the water out, rolled it in a towel, pressed the towel to get the additional water out. So now I have a damp piece to work with. I've snapped together my mats so that I have a good blocking surface, and I've moved this outside to the picnic table where I'll have plenty of room. So remember, there are different blocking styles, there are different blocking methods. One blocking method is not the end-all be-all. So we're going to go with my method for this particular shawl. Now I use blocking wires, which is a thin wire used to help with straight edges, shape curves, and you use a lot less pins. Now, I could have gone and bought fancy blocking wires, but I did not. I went to Home Depot, got a fat roll of welding wire that doesn't rust, cut it off, burnt the ends, and filed them down so I don't have snags, and that's what I use. 20 bucks for a lifetime of blocking wires. So let's get started. The first thing I did was I ran my blocking wire through the edge. This will help me shape my shawl. And I have not woven in the ends because I want to do that at the end because I use different yarn types and they all don't stretch the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to get started. So let me go around to the other side. And get my blocking pins ready. So the first thing I want to do is decide pretty much my shape. And I know where the center of my shawl is. So I'm going to take one of my T-pins and I'm going to place it behind the wire, and I'm going to use the grids on my mat as a guide. And now I'm going to start stretching from the center because I know this has a crescent shape. So I'm going to find approximately my midpoint, and I'm going to pin my little picot. You may not be able to see this, but I'm stretching it. See down here? I'm just stretching it a little bit. And I'm going to work out from the center, stretching each of the picots as I go. Now, this probably won't be my final pin out, but I'm giving it a little bit of room so that I can work. I have an extra blocking wire back here because I might need to use that. So, as we keep moving, we keep shaping. And pinning. And you don't have to pin hard, just enough to hold your pieces. And then I'll pin at the top along my line. I believe I'm going to curl this shawl a little up because it seems like that's what it wants to do, like this. And I may have to add some blocking mats to the end so I can meet my curve. I'll go ahead and get some of these picots pinned, and I alternate from one side to the other to keep it kind of even. And you can always go back and you can redo this, reset your pins depending on how much stretch, how aggressive you're going to be with it. And then as we go, I'm going to let it curve naturally, and I'm pinning behind my wire. Now, if you're using regular pins for the top, you're going to do basically the same thing. Is you're going to pin your edges out, and don't worry, it's a process. No two people block the same, and that's okay. So we just keep going, pin out our picots. to get our general shape. And again, this is going to be adjusted by the time I'm done. So I just keep going. I'm not stretching too aggressively at this point because I'm just trying to get my general shape down. And yes, I'm going to have to add more blocking mats to the other side. That in there to hold that. As you can see, as I'm stretching, it's taking out some of the wrinkles. And that's kind of what you want to do. So once I have gotten the general shape of this, I'm going to go back and adjust it. So I'm going to get this pinned out, and then I'll be right back with you to show you my adjustments. Okay, now we're going to work on the other side, pinning out our picots. So what we're going to do is continue to lightly stretch our picots out and pin the points. And this gives you that nice edge to your shawl. Now, since I'm outside, I notice my shawl is drying pretty quickly, which that's okay because it's Florida and it's coming summertime, and that means rain at any given moment. Let's just get these pinned out and then we'll start adjusting. It's helpful to get these T-pins. They have a little T on the end and they are rust proof. Joann's has them. You can get them from Amazon, but always pin with rust proof pins because you don't want to come back to your project and find rust everywhere. So we're going to continue to pin our picots out. And it is humid out this morning because we're expecting rain. So I wanted to get this done quite early so that we could do it outside for the space. And I'll do a walk around with the camera a little closer so you can watch the adjustments and why I do my adjustments the way I do. So I'm going to walk behind the camera and finish pinning out these last few picots, and then we're going to do a walk around and make our final pinning adjustments. I love these colors. They remind me of cotton candy or sherbet. I think I'll call this my cotton candy. Okay, we've got it all basically pinned out. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to do a walk around to show you my adjustments and why I make them. Okay, as you can see, all of my little picots are pinned, and I've got a little wobble right here, so I'm going to pull this pin and the one next to it to kind of straighten that out. There we go. So now you see, now it's a little bit more even. Then I'm going to come around and just keep checking. This one looks a little bit shy, so I'll pull it. You see it keeps that nice measurement. This one's a little wonky, so we're going to straighten it out. This one's a little wonky. Yes, this is a sewing pin right here, but it is rust proof. So we're going to keep going. This one we're going to straighten out a little bit. So as long as we keep the size. Yes, and you'll notice here I got some bleeding And I didn't notice it because this part of the yarn was on the top when it was soaking. But I'm kind of okay with it because it kind of matches some of the other yarns I got going on in here. So we're going to go with it. Now we're going to keep working around our picots and getting them kind of straightened out to keep this approximately the same width all the way around. So there's another one. That one looks okay. This one looks a little sideways. So there's this one. And this is how you make your adjustments. You just go through until you get it just how you want it. And it looks like this one might be stretched a little bit too far. And we're gonna take that one in a little bit, take this one out. And this white yarn here is a different type of yarn than either of these. So this white yarn doesn't have as much stretch, and that affected the total size of my shawl. So this is what we have once we've pinned and stretched to the shape that we like. Now all we have to do is let it dry. Now please remember that this method is my method that I use. Okay? Everybody blocks a little differently, and standing away from it, I see this pin right here could probably go there. Let's see. I see this pin could probably go there. This one could come out a little bit. There we go. Allergies are not being kind this morning. And maybe a little bit right here we need to adjust. And I could fiddle with this all day, but I'm pretty happy with it overall. Got a nice curve on the neck, as you can see. So we'll let this dry, weave in our ends, and see how she looks.